Okay, well, my name is Linda Kelly. I'm here to tell you what happened to me in 1974 and 1975 with regard to Primados. Okay. In 1974, I thought I was pregnant, went off to the doctors. He gave me 2 tablets to take out of his drawer. I took the tablets on 2 consecutive days. Didn't really think any more about it. My pregnancy wasn't all that good compared to the previous 2. I wasn't very well throughout, and at 7 months pregnant I started to lose weight, and the doctor sent me off to Lincoln Maternity Hospital. I was prodded about and told to go home and eat more. I've always been thin. So that was that, and she was full-time. She looked, when she was born, she was perfectly normal, looked fine, but she had a funny cry. It wasn't the usual baby's cry or yell or whatever. And they whisked her away from me, put her in an incubator. She died 4 days later. We were asked to have her, did we want her christened? So we did. And I think it was the following day when she died, so that was 4 days. When we were given the note from the maternity hospital to take to the doctor, which is usual. Now, you forget a lot of things, but there are things I've never forgotten. And one of them was our doctor's reaction when we walked into his surgery. The happy couple with the baby. And I burst into tears, gave him the letter, and he said, "Oh no, why am I not surprised?" So I can't remember what happened after that. So a few days later, this was upsetting me even more, so I asked to see the chief doctor, whoever was in charge, and he came to the house to see us. And what he said was, it was probably because you were losing weight, and that was why he said that. So I accepted that. And a few months after that, we moved from that village to another village, about 15 miles away. So I had to register with a new surgery, new doctor. And I can't remember when or how it came about, but maybe he'd asked to see me, I don't know. But he wanted to see me to discuss what had happened with the baby. And he had my notes at that point. And he asked me what had happened. So I told him. And he said, "You were given 2 pills." And he's looking at my notes. So it was in my notes. But in those days, it was just in a little envelope with things written on them, everything written on them. So he knew I'd taken Primados, which I'd forgotten all about. Yes, I'd taken that. And he said, "But my dear, you shouldn't have been given them. They're known to cause abnormalities in the fetus." So that was 2 doctors and their reaction. So then I started to think, was it those 2 tablets? But the years go by and you get over it in time. So because Tom was in the RAF, we were moved about a lot, and so anyway, and I had 2 children to look after as well. So the years went by anyway, as I said, and it was in 2014, I was walking past the television, the news was on, and I heard whoever it was speaking about 2 tablets that women were given in pregnancy, something like that. Not quite sure of the words, but it was now Qureshi, the MP. I said her name just not so long ago. Anyway, and she was being interviewed by the BBC about hormone pregnancy tablets. And so I stopped in my tracks, thought, well, what's this? And from that, from her being interviewed, found out that there was an association. So I delved into that and joined and got to know Marie. And just how many, it was shocking. It all came flooding back to me. Association, yes, it was shocking to find out how many other families had been affected by it, by taking these 2 tablets. And the more you read, the more shocking it is. It was awful finding out about that, and I think my daughter blames all that on me going down, getting depressed.
So it has
yeah, for a while, yeah. My husband had just died, sort of 2 years previous to that. It didn't help, but I needed to find out about it, and I was so shocked about and what Marie and her team had found in Germany when they went. It was just awful.
So moving on, can I just ask what you would hope for the future, or what your concerns are for the future, or for yourself?
I want a conclusion to it. I don't think you can get closure over anything like this. You don't, because you never forget. And now that we know what we know, it's just got to end. There's been far too much being pushed to the side. Nobody wants to know. One thing I've never forgotten, when I joined, Marie, well, we all contacted our MP, which I did, and lovely man up in Scotland, but he didn't stay long because there was an election and he didn't win the next election. But he did tell me over the phone that all the respective governments in Europe who have people in the same situation, the governments don't really want the drug company to have to pay out compensation, because then the governments have to pay back the drug company, Bayer, so that they don't go bankrupt. So is this why governments aren't bothered? They don't want to know. And I've never forgotten him telling me that. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But I think it's time the whole thing ended. We want to put their hands up. Oh, they are. Am I getting it right? Yeah, they've got to hold their hands up.
Okay.
They knew about it, and what with all the tests that Neil Vargason has done since then with the fish, every embryo was damaged. It's just as plain as the nose on anybody's faces. Who's to blame for all this? She shouldn't have died. You know, I mean, this was 1975 when she was born. My daughter was born in 65, my son in 63, perfect babies, very healthy. They should have, Suzanne, on her 50th birthday it was, she said she should have been celebrating it with Tamlin, who would have been 40, you know, so that's what I want. I want it ending,
Okay.
you know. So,
Thank you.
okay,
Thank you.
right. I came across it and I thought it really related to what's happening to us all. The novelist Aldous Huxley, he said, facts do not cease to exist just because they are ignored. We've got the facts and they're being ignored.